Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for taking a few minutes to view this presentation, which is the first of a pair concerning retirement age and bypass pay. First, though, I would like to start by welcoming over 100 new members to our association who have joined since the new General Committee was formed a few weeks ago. There is no doubt that our growing numbers and the willingness of your GC to faithfully represent your concerns is having the desired effect on our ability to work with management. Please continue to encourage non-members to join. If each of us manages to persuade just one non-member to join our association, we will very quickly achieve 100% membership. If a non-member wishes to join, all that you need to do is forward their email address to the office and the staff will take care of the rest. Hopefully, through our updates, you will be aware that the following items are currently with management, inasmuch as we have made it clear that these are the issues that have led to a widespread sense of injustice throughout our ranks. The future of direct entry commands and the harm they are doing to our careers and the reputation of Cathay as a career airline. Second officer bypass pay, which is not being paid despite extensive recruitment of direct entry first officers. COS 99 freighter first officers who see new joiners on a better deal but are themselves stuck on freighter pay and freighter aircraft. Delayed freighter commands, with many more senior first officers waiting many months because resources have been used for direct entry commands instead. The future of freighter commands, the future of local terms in Hong Kong, and of course the FACA, the Freighter Aircraft Crewing Agreement. However, the main subject for this presentation is retirement age 65 and bypass pay. We've been working with the company for some time on this, and it is time to bring you up to date on what we know about RA65 and where we are with management. RA65 has been the subject of negotiations on several occasions. Most recently, the sides have spent some time together analysing the costs involved in increasing retirement age. I would like to share some of this analysis with you. Let me start with a few facts. First of all, we are almost there. In other words, whether we like it or not, we have a form of RA65. Most officers work past 55, whether on the freighter or check and training on the passenger fleet. Most officers take the opportunity to work past 55. A large amount of bypass pay is being paid and will continue to be paid. In a very real sense, we already have RA65. What this means for us is that we have many colleagues over the age of 55, and we've already seen the time to command and time to first officer begin to increase. What this means for the company is that most of the costs associated with RA65 are already in the budget. Another point worth noting is that the long-run cost to the company of increasing retirement age is high. The company is already incurring much of the seniority cost which arises as officers spend longer in each rank. Everyone spends longer in each rank, and so the average cost of second officers, first officers and captains all increase. SOs as a group cost more, FOs as a group cost more, and captains as a group cost more. Whether captains extend on freighter, B-scale or A-scale, the costs are not that different. In all cases the costs are high because they continue past 55 at a high pay point rather than making way for a pay point 1 captain. And of course the increased costs of more senior SOs and FOs are always there. Of course there are short-term savings on the training front. However, eventually retirements pick up again and replacements will need to be trained. Training is delayed rather than avoided completely, whereas the pilots will always, on average, be on a higher pay point. Another fact worth bearing in mind is that increasing the retirement age means more money for pilots. The extra cost to the company, which I've just outlined, goes into pilot salaries. However, for sure, you need to be planning to work past 55 to benefit from an increase in retirement age. If you leave at or before 55, you'll be disadvantaged. In fact, you probably need to work to 57 or 58 to break even. Suggestions from the company to the contrary, that commands will not be delayed and so earnings at 55 would be equivalent, have not been helpful in this regard. As an association, the real difficulty in championing an increase in retirement age lies in the fact that the immediate beneficiaries are those that are approaching 55. In the short run, the extra money for pilots is skewed heavily towards the older pilots, with junior officers being disadvantaged as commands are delayed. However, most of us are here for the long term, and it is important that we consider the long-term effect of RA65 as well as the short term. In the short term, progression is delayed, no doubt about that. However, the long term is a different story. I should point out that the only view that matters here is your view. If you have plans to leave Cathay before 55, there's no doubt that RA65 is not for you, and it is quite wrong for anyone to suggest that it is. What I would say is this. Most pilots seem to want to work longer as they get older. This is borne out by our survey, as you can see from this graph. The graph shows that at the age of 30, only 21% of pilots intend to work past 55, while at the age of 50, 74% plan to work past 55. Perhaps younger pilots are different today, and they will not change their intention over time. Again, it's not for me to say. We live in uncertain times, and predicting your requirements 20 years from now is difficult at best. Under such conditions, the option to work to 65 on your terms must have some value. Only you will know what that value is, but whatever it is important that you factor it into the retirement age equation. Factoring in the value of bypass pay is also important. In the future, there could be 200 or 300 captains past 55, triggering bypass pay. Of course, it's difficult to know how long people may want to work past 55, and so how many will trigger bypass pay. In our analysis, we assumed many would work to 60 and some would work to 65. In theory, this could mean an average of 2 or 3 years of bypass pay for junior officers. However, it does very much depend on your circumstances. Bypass pay is not evenly spread. A sizable portion will go to Category B and C officers waiting for an A categorization. Base first officers will also tend to receive more. Taking a base is a lifestyle choice, and it is possible that first officers will choose lifestyle over career, especially if they are senior enough to have access to bypass pay. This means that while based and Category B or C officers will receive more than 2 or 3 years of bypass pay, some officers, particularly those that achieve a first-time A categorization in Hong Kong, will receive less than the average. To summarize, a form of age 65 already exists. Most pilots work past 55 and bypass pay is being paid. In future, there could be, on average, 2 or 3 years of bypass pay available. However, there will be variations in the amount received. Age 65 means more money for pilots. It's likely that age 65 is of value to all pilots. However, only you can know what that value is. If you do not intend to work past 55, it's of no value to you. Thanks for listening thus far. The second part of this presentation deals with the state of negotiations.